weekend curfew extended with modification, measures being coordinated to enforce the ticketing system under the Disaster Risk Management Act, and appeal to countries not to hoard COVID-19 vaccines. You're watching Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Anthony Morgan. Prime Minister Andrew Holness was in Parliament on Tuesday, where he made several adjustments to the COVID-19 containment measures. Among them is the continuation of the weekend curfew, which has been modified for another 3 weeks until May 3. The dates include April 17, 18, 24 and 25, as well as May 1 and 2.
The curfew will begin at 4 p.m. on Saturdays and 2 p.m. on Sundays, and end at 5 a.m. the next morning.
The midday closure of businesses on Fridays has been discontinued. Meanwhile, the curfew hours for weekdays, Mondays to Fridays, remains from 8 p.m. to 5 the next morning. Other enforcements that will remain in place until May 4 include the ban on funerals, social and entertainment events, while the maximum number of people in church has been increased from 12 to 30. The restriction on face-to-face classes also continues, including for students who are sitting exit examinations.
However, students are permitted to sit exit examinations at the physical location of the school when those exams are due.
Further to that, Prime Minister Holness said the existing work-from-home protocols in the public sector would continue until May 4, while private sector employers were urged to allow eligible employees to work from home. The gathering limit remains at 10. Mr. Holness said the measures were necessary as the COVID-19 positivity and hospitalization rates remained high.
The sooner we bring the spike under control, the sooner we will be able to lift some of the restrictions and focus on growing our economy.
As it regards protecting the borders, the United Kingdom travel ban will continue until April 30 and is not expected to be renewed any further. The travel ban for Brazil, Chile, Peru, Colombia, Argentina and Paraguay has been extended until May 4. And the Prime Minister said other existing protocols, including the requirement for all travelers to present a negative COVID-19 test that is conducted within 3 days of travel, remain in place. So too the requirement to self-quarantine for 14 days after arrival. With amendments to the Disaster Risk Management Act now being passed, Prime Minister Andrew Holness says government is currently undertaking various logistical and operational measures required to implement the ticketing system.
Minister Mackenzie has been asked to lead the cross-ministerial group that will ensure that the ticketing system has a proper digital network and software supporting it across the Ministry of Finance, that's particularly TAJ, or Tax Administration of Jamaica rather, the Ministry of Local Government, the Ministry of Justice, and the court system, and the Ministry of National Security.
Still on COVID-19, Prime Minister Andrew Holness has expressed satisfaction with the island-wide vaccination campaign. As at April 13, approximately 135,473 persons have received their first dose of vaccine.
I want to thank the thousands of healthcare workers, the JCF and the JDF, and all the support staff that have worked around the clock to make this possible.
Mr. Holness says government is expecting 20,000 doses of Moderna through a commercial arrangement, as well as an additional 50,000 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine through the global COVAX facility shortly.
The government continues to pursue all avenues, bilateral, multilateral, as well as commercial arrangements with suppliers to obtain further supplies of vaccines.
In the meantime, Prime Minister Andrew Holness is appealing to countries with stocks of vaccines not to hoard them, but instead make them available to other countries like Jamaica that will rapidly use them to inoculate the population.
I'm saying to those countries that have these supplies, who may not be able to utilize them all before their expiration date because of their take-up rate, to make them available, to loan them to us, and we will place our orders and return to you. But it is important that we all move towards recovery on even keel.
Moving on to another matter, Prime Minister Andrew Holness says government is putting plans in place to invest in the entertainment industry. This is in preparation for post-COVID-19 activities. Part of the capital investment being considered are entertainment spaces, venues and locations, which Mr. Holness says are insufficient.
We haven't designated spaces for entertainment. So you might have a dance hall right, beside a church, a clinic, within residential areas, and, we disturb our neighbors. What the pandemic has revealed is that we need to reconfigure our society. We need to sit with the stakeholders and say, we can build a new Jamaica, a Jamaica in which your entertainment can be accommodated. And it is a conversation that we need to have without anybody saying that we're fighting dancehall or fighting this or fighting that.
Prime Minister Holness says he is very aware of the hurt and suffering faced by many in the entertainment industry due to the significant loss of revenue. He says government sees music and culture as a part of our economic recovery and as such will allocate funds towards the industry. And that's it for Jamaica House Weekly. Be sure to join us next time for more of the news stories coming out of the office of the Prime Minister.